How'd you like to get up and talk after that? Well, there's sure some energy there. My name is Mike Edgar. I'm running for the House this year, and one of the things you get to do when you're running for the House is get to introduce some tremendous individuals. In my case, it's to introduce Maggie Hassan. And we also get a chance to talk about yourself for about a minute, and Chris told me I really should. So I'll try to give you a quick burst. Again, Mike Edgar, so remember that when you're voting. And Kathy and I moved here in '76, and after a little while, around '83, she loved it so much, and with the kids, she basically told us we weren't moving. So then we had to figure some other things out, but we're really glad we stayed. And, a little bit of my background, actually from Connecticut, went to UConn, undergraduate, Penn State, graduate in engineering, civil engineer, registered in most of the states in New Hampshire, excuse me, in New England. I did a lot of stuff as far as heavy construction goes over the years, booming out, and when I was told we weren't, moving from here, going to different jobs. But I also, around '83, was able to get into the Navy Reserve, which was a real gold of mine. I was able to, I was a CB officer, a civil engineer, so I was a CB officer. If you know what CBs, it's basically a naval construction force. And we got to do a lot with it because I actually took a lot of extra duty. So I got to actually work on a lot of things like tornado relief for about a month out in Western Mass. Around '95, and then '98, '99 went to Haiti and to build things like clinics and sink wells, and it's kind of lucky in some ways. A couple hurricanes hit while we were there, so there's a lot of work. Pretty interesting in a lot of ways. So and then after that, also was the lead CEC, lead CB officer in Katrina. Yeah, right in New Orleans, right after Katrina hit. I got to go down for a while, and again, that was good work. There was no lack of work down there, that's for sure. Also, with the right after that, I had a stint here in the state actually for the Navy, doing as the emergency preparedness liaison officer for the Navy to the state of New Hampshire. And then just the way things worked out geographically, I also had the shipyard for that also. So, as you can see, I have a lot of history with emergency and disaster work. And that might help me with what's coming up. I think we're in an emergency situation right now. It definitely could be a disaster if we don't get more Democrats elected. And I think one of the most important positions, of course, to get elected is governor. That's really was the thing, the finger in the dike of the last couple of years. And we want it to be more than that, coming up. If we lose that, then then it's really, really critical. One other thing, I just still had a little bit of time left before they kicked me out, so I went over. I was deployed over the Mideast from in 2008, 2009. Most of the time in Kuwait. I had a base there, the CB base, but also was in charge of most of the CBs that were in Iraq and part of Afghanistan. So I spent a lot of time in Iraq and some time in Afghanistan. But then they told me I had to come home to retire me at 62 because it was mandatory age. So that's a little bit about me, but of course, real reason, yes.
You forgot one of your better buildings. It's right over in Center School, the big thing you built in the kindergarten classroom.
Oh yeah, well thanks Barbara. Yeah, I was, well we have, I should have mentioned, Kathy and I have 5 boys and 5 sons, and they all went through the school system here, and we're involved in different things along the way, including things like Barbara's classroom, and also I was president of the HYA for a while, and also was on the school board here in Hampton. So there's some other things like that, and a bunch of other committees and things. But thanks for bringing that up. I wish I could have asked you to do that, but you did anyway. Thank you. And, again, the real reason I'm up here now is really to introduce Maggie, and it was so fortunate to have Maggie as a candidate. And actually, I think the Democratic Party is very fortunate to have several candidates. But Maggie, she got involved in 1999 with Governor Shaheen, brought her on board to do some work. some committee work, and then actually in 2004 she was elected to the Senate. And in a way, it was a better time for us during the period that she was there. And she actually was the president pro tem and also the majority leader in the state senate, which is quite a responsibility, quite a job. She served on many committees, a lot of important committees, and hopefully she'll mention some of them. But it really does kind of uniquely prepare her for potential of being the governor with all the different committees that she's on, especially from the finance side, education side. But she really worked well with Governor Lynch, and a couple of the other things I did want to mention was some of the work with with Reggie, with the regional greenhouse, and the marriage equality. I wanted to mention those too because those are some of the things that have been being attacked by the present group that's in there, and they're trying to turn a lot of things backwards. And unfortunately, they've been successful in overriding a few vetoes and getting some things in. So I just wanted to mention one more time that we have a great candidate here, and please give your attention, Maggie Hassan.